I am slowly starting to love myself again. And it's taken quite a lot of courage for me to say these 7 seemingly inconsequential words. There's so many aspects of myself that I seem to have forgotten or that I thought I'd lost in this narrow abyss that we call adversity. Turns out the answer's been inside me all along. Who would have thought, huh? It really astounds me the depths that we'd go to just to satisfy and appease others when we often lack that same sense of compassion for ourselves. And it seems as though that this is a lifelong journey, and this is something I'm quickly starting to realize. We are multifaceted creatures, and we must remember to hold ourselves to this high regard. I quickly see my worldview changing, much like our current world does today. All happening right before my eyes, and despite this ever-present chaos, I can't help but smile at the amount of self-awareness that I've managed to gain in such a seemingly short period. I no longer hold this antiquated and archaic sense for what it means to be myself or for what love really is, and I'm beginning to understand that love is just as complex as we are. Overwhelmed by the many different wants and needs of our own, we start to get a somewhat definite grasp on how we place value and priority on our many different attachments in life. See, the thing I never really understood about attachment was as follows. I feel like that there's this unspoken societal pressure that's placed on every one of us to find our significant other without placing any forethought or deliberation on ourselves. How are we supposed to move forward when we can't even stand up for ourselves, let alone for what we really feel? I've struggled with this very same notion for more often than I'd honestly like to admit. See, I had it misconstrued the entire time, and I'd find myself getting attached to the idea of someone rather than who they actually are. It's so easy to fabricate and romanticize over these sorts of falsified narratives because it's made this way by design for its namesake. That's why loving is easy. I suppose if I'm being honest with myself, what I'm really craving is a sense of intimacy. All my life I was so terrified of being alone with my thoughts, even if it was just for a short, brief couple of hours. I couldn't bear it. I feel like we all look down on the idea of being alone, and to be honest, it can be quite frightening. Anything in excess can be a real detriment to the mind. But in regards to solitude, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I just recently turned 22 years old, and to be able to be present with my own company, uninterrupted and unscripted, it's done wonders for my mental health. Yet I still find myself in a weird stalemate between trying to decipher what my inner child is craving and juxtapose it with what my present self is trying to say. I struggle so hard with the trauma of not feeling heard by others, when in reality I haven't even taken time to listen to myself. On that same notion, most recently, I've been having problems finding out my own voice, and in some way for me to be able to utilize this outlet as an amplifier has been quite the cathartic experience. See, I believe that we all have the capability to change the world buried deep within us. This innate desire to do good and love one another in an unapologetic form of expression is what I've truly been craving all along. I am slowly starting to love myself again. Maybe now I see that it really all starts with me, and I'd encourage you to look inside yourself as well. I'm sure you'd be surprised with what you'd find. And don't forget, I love you, and I'm happy that you stuck around. I'll see you on the other side.